The world of professional tennis is on high alert today as we track a major injury update. Defending two-time champion Carlos Alcaraz has officially put his participation at the upcoming French Open in serious doubt due to a concerning right wrist injury. Fans and medical experts are waiting anxiously for the results of critical tests coming in the next few days to see if he can take the court for the Grand Slam tournament in just a month. Carlos Alcaraz was spotted at the Laureus Awards with his wrist immobilized, leaving the entire sport wondering if his dominant run will be forced to pause.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the Pop Sockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Before the injury news broke, the tennis world turned its eyes to the red carpet in Madrid for a star-studded celebration. Carlos Alcaraz and Aryna Sabalenka were officially crowned the Laureus Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year following their incredible 2025 campaigns. The event was packed with elite talent, featuring groundbreaking wins for Lando Norris in Formula One and a massive career comeback honor for Rory McIlroy. Young star Lamine Yamal even made history as the very first recipient of the Young Sportsperson of the Year award, marking a massive night for global sports. The pressure on Carlos Alcaraz continues to ripple through the entire landscape of Spanish tennis. While his meteoric rise to a 7-time Grand Slam champion has set an unprecedented standard, it has created a complicated environment for his peers. Rising talent Daniel Merida has recently spoken out about the intense burden of being compared to legends like Carlos Alcaraz and the retired icon Rafael Nadal. It is a fascinating look at the mental game behind the professional circuit, as new players fight to forge their own paths while living in the shadow of giants. The debate regarding the impact of Carlos Alcaraz on the next generation of players like Daniel Merida, Rafa Nadal, and Martin Landalus is just heating up. We are diving deep into the motivation versus the heavy expectations that these young athletes face every time they step onto the court. You do not want to miss the full breakdown on what this means for the future of the game. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and smash the notification bell so you never miss an update on these breaking stories. Is the tennis world about to lose its brightest young star for the biggest stage of them all? Carlos Alcaraz, the two-time defending champion who has become the face of a new generation, has just cast a massive shadow over the upcoming French Open. He arrived at the Laureus Awards in Madrid with his right wrist immobilized, leaving fans and pundits alike holding their breath. Alcaraz isn't sugarcoating it either. He's been incredibly candid about the fact that his participation in the Grand Slam is currently in serious doubt. It is a tough pill to swallow for a guy who just keeps racking up hardware, including his latest nod as the Laureus World Sportsman of the Year. This wrist issue has been a persistent headache, forcing him to withdraw from both the Barcelona and Madrid Opens, disrupting his rhythm right when he needs to be peaking on clay. Alcaraz says the next few medical tests are absolutely critical to deciding his path forward, emphasizing that he is trying to remain patient despite the frustration of sitting on the sidelines. It is a sobering reminder that even the most elite athletes are just one injury away from a total change in plans. We've seen him dominate the Italian Open before, but whether he can summon that same magic in Paris is now completely up in the air. We are all waiting on those results, hoping for a swift recovery so he can get back to what he does best. If you want to stay updated on whether Alcaraz makes it to the French Open, hit that subscribe button right now. Injuries are an unfortunate part of the game, but it really makes you wonder, can the sport keep up this breakneck pace without its biggest icons healthy and ready to shine? Tennis royalty just took over the red carpet in Madrid, and if you think the sport is in a transition phase, the 2025 Laureus Awards are here to prove you wrong. Carlos Alcaraz and Aryna Sabalenka have been crowned the world's best, and frankly, it feels like the only logical conclusion to a year where these two simply refuse to share the spotlight. Alcaraz, at just 22, has reclaimed his throne as the world number one after a masterclass performance at both the French and US Open. He's not just winning, he's proving that his dominance is surface agnostic, which is a terrifying prospect for the rest of the tour. Standing right there with him is Aryna Sabalenka, whose 2025 campaign was the definition of relentless. From New York to her runs in Australia and France, she's carved her name into a legendary list alongside titans like Serena Williams and Naomi Osaka. But the night wasn't just about the tennis giants. We saw Novak Djokovic and Eileen Gu make history as the first athlete duo to co-host the ceremony, adding a layer of genuine competitive perspective that you just can't manufacture. The real tearjerker of the evening, though, was Rory McIlroy. After an agonizing 11-year drought, he finally completed his career Grand Slam at the Masters, and seeing him walk away with the Comeback of the Year award felt like closure for every golf fan who stuck by him through the years. We also saw Lando Norris finally break through to grab the F1 title, and let's talk about Lamine Yamal, the Barcelona sensation, becoming the first-ever recipient of the Young Sportsperson of the Year award. It is a sign of the times. The torch isn't just being passed, it's being seized. PSG took home Team of the Year after finally claiming that elusive Champions League trophy, proving that money and chemistry can, eventually, buy you immortality. The Laureus Academy has spoken, and they've picked a cohort that defines pure, unadulterated excellence. What do you think? Was there anyone snubbed from the list, or is this the perfect snapshot of the modern sporting landscape? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the world of sports. After all, greatness is just a heartbeat away from the next big challenge. Is the king of clay about to lose his crown before the battle even begins? The tennis world is holding its breath as Carlos Alcaraz deals with a right wrist injury that has everyone questioning his path to the French Open. It is a nightmare scenario for any athlete, but for a two-time defending champion, the timing could not be worse. Alcaraz made a somber appearance at the Laureus Awards in Madrid this week, and the most striking detail wasn't his tuxedo. It was his right wrist, firmly tucked away in a brace. The Spaniard, who just earned the honor of World Sportsman of the Year, is currently facing the reality that his upcoming medical exams are essentially a make-or-break moment for his season. When asked about his French Open status, he gave a hesitant, "We'll see," which is not exactly the kind of confidence fans were hoping for. We have seen this movie before, where a rising star pushes through the pain, only to find the recovery timeline is far longer than expected. Remember, Alcaraz already had to pull the plug on the Madrid Open after receiving treatment during his opening match in Barcelona just weeks ago. It is a stark reminder that even the most elite athletes are just one ligament tweak away from having their momentum halted entirely. Alcaraz admits the days have been dragging on, testing his patience as he tries to stay positive. He is currently looking at the Italian Open as a potential return, but nothing is set in stone. As tennis fans, we all want to see the best players on the biggest stages, but playing through a wrist injury on the heavy, gritty surface of Roland Garros is a dangerous gamble that could jeopardize the rest of his career. If you want to stay updated on whether Alcaraz gets the green light for Paris, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Ultimately, the question isn't just whether he can play, but whether he can play at the level we have come to expect. Sometimes, the bravest thing an athlete can do is wait for the body to heal, rather than fighting a clock that never stops ticking. We often talk about the glory of winning, but have you ever considered the crushing weight of being the next superstar? Carlos Alcaraz isn't just winning Grand Slams. He's essentially broken the scale for what we expect from young talent. By the time he hit 22, he had already completed a career Grand Slam. It's an incredible achievement, but as fellow Spaniard Daniel Merida points out, it has created a shadow that's becoming increasingly difficult for other young players to stand in. When you have a generational talent like Alcaraz, who hit world #1 at 18, the public stops seeing success and starts demanding miracles. Daniel Merida, who is making waves of his own by breaking into the top 100, admits that the comparisons are exhausting. When the media constantly holds you up against legends like Nadal or a phenomenon like Alcaraz, it distorts the reality of how hard it is to actually develop as a pro. Merida hits the nail on the head when he says that people have started to believe these meteoric rises are normal. They aren't. They are rare, lightning-in-a-bottle moments. Behind every success story, There is a human being trying to build a career on their own terms, not just chasing someone else's highlight reel. Yet, despite the pressure, there is a refreshing camaraderie among this new generation. Merida speaks highly of Alcaraz as a peer and a friend, noting that even with the intense expectations, there is a shared respect between the rising stars. It reminds us that tennis is a lonely sport, and having that bond matters. While Alcaraz is out of the Madrid Open this year dealing with injury, the conversation about how we nurture talent remains front and center. If we keep measuring every young player by the Alcaraz yardstick, are we actually sabotaging the very stars we want to see shine? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the pressure to be the next big thing is actually holding back the next wave of tennis legends? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of tennis.